Stop whining, it's already sold. Those were the words that changed everything. My son Mike stood in my kitchen like he owned the place, arms crossed, completely unbothered by the devastation he'd just delivered. I needed that money for my trip to Italy. I stared at him, my hands still wet from washing dishes. Frank's coffee mug trembling in my grip. You sold your father's Rolex? Without asking me? Mom, seriously, get over it. It's just a watch. Just a watch. 6 months after burying my husband of 43 years, and my own son had stolen the only thing of Frank's I wore every day, wound every morning like Frank taught me, feeling connected to him through that simple ritual. If you're watching this, subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. The thing about betrayal is that it has a taste, bitter, metallic, like pennies on your tongue. Standing there in my Chicago kitchen, staring at my 42-year-old son who apparently thought grief had an expiration date, I tasted it fully for the first time. Which pawn shop? I asked quietly. Mike's wife Ashley looked up from her phone. Oh, good. She's being reasonable now. Her voice dripped with that particular condescension she'd perfected over the years. Honestly, Dorothy, clinging to material possessions isn't healthy. Frank wouldn't want you living in the past. Don't tell me what Frank would want, I thought, but bit my tongue. Ashley had been telling me what Frank would want since the funeral, usually whenever it involved me giving them something. Golden State Pawn on Milwaukee Avenue, Mike said, checking his watch. An expensive Apple thing that probably cost more than Frank's Rolex was worth. They gave me $800. Not bad for something that old. $800. For a 1978 Rolex Submariner that Frank had saved 3 months of overtime to buy when Mike was born. The watch Frank wore every single day of our marriage, except the day he died, when the hospital handed it to me in a plastic bag with his wedding ring. That watch was worth at least $3,000, I said. Ashley snorted. In what universe? It wasn't even running properly. Because I was the one winding it, keeping it alive, keeping Frank alive in some small way. But they wouldn't understand that. Mike and Ashley lived in a world where everything had a price tag, and nothing had a memory. I'm going to get it back, I announced. Good luck with that, Mike said, heading for the door. We fly out tomorrow morning. Ashley's been planning this trip for months. Ashley followed him, pausing at the door with that fake sympathetic expression she wore whenever she wanted to seem caring. Dorothy, you really should consider therapy. This obsession with Frank's things isn't normal. The door slammed, leaving me alone with the bitter taste of betrayal and the silence that had become my constant companion since Frank died. But here's what Mike and Ashley didn't know about their pathetic old mother. I'd spent 40 years